So welcome first of all, everybody, to today's workshop on shipping to global customers. For those of you who were there last week, you already know me. For those of you who weren't able to join last time, we will do the intro session one more time. So you will be able to get to know me a little bit better. Today, because the agenda is pretty packed, I'm going to refrain from doing another introduction, but be sure that you will get to know me. So today, we have a packed agenda. I would like to start very briefly on a recap of what we discussed last time. So we talked about pricing on eBay. Then we also talked about the conditions of participation. So we talked about the fact that that I expect a little bit something from you in return for you getting a free store on eBay and for you getting support all along the way to creating your eBay store and to making your first sale internationally. So I will be sort of helping you all along the way. And but what we haven't talked about is more details about the cost. And to say it up front, the program will be completely free. So more details on this in the first section. In the second section today, we will talk a little bit about international shipping. And what I'm going to start with is an example. So last time we made a pricing example using one of the sellers that I've been working with in one of my projects. In this case, it's a seller from Kenya in Africa. And I think it's an example that lends itself well because Africa is a country where it is a continent from which it is fairly difficult to export to international markets. And but we were successfully able to do it with this seller. So today in the example, I'm going to talk about again this seller and talk you through exactly how we solved the challenge of shipping internationally, especially how we solved the high shipping cost part of it. Then I want to give you a little bit of statistics around cross-border trade and e-commerce. And then I want to look at some of the cross-border trade shipping models that are used in general. And dig a little bit deeper, giving you some examples of sellers that are successfully selling using different models of shipping. And finally, well, I will show you, based on the example of eBay, how you can set up international shipping so that it's really easy for customers to just click and buy without having to worry, and to make it really easy for customers wherever they're from to understand exactly what the shipping cost is. Because the fact is that the sellers I've been working with, they have been exporting to the United States, to several countries in Europe. So overall, they've exported to more than 20 countries. And it's really important that, that the shipping cost, which is different for different countries, that it's very easily visible for the customer what that cost is. So we will look into how we can set that up, and then finally I'm gonna talk a little bit about the next step. So this is the agenda for today. I would say, why don't we go ahead and jump into it straight away? So a little bit of a recap. The objective, also for those of you who were not able to join last time, the objective for us as a group is I want to work with you guys to set you up with an international store on eBay with which you can export to global markets. And the priority being the US market, because as I will tell you a little bit later, it is a market, it's the second largest e-commerce market in the world, and it's fairly easy to access. So the US is important. This is what I want to do with you guys. I want to create a hub for Brazilian sellers on eBay, where you will be able to feature your store. And we are working very closely with the business unit at eBay to enable this for you and to also give you visibility, so that we can get selling. Just very briefly, for those of you who weren't here last time, I have already worked on portals like this for sellers in Africa. So I have this portal here, the best of Kenya on eBay, with sellers mainly in the handcraft and commodities sector, and then I worked on another portal for Central America as well. And we will use the experience from these projects to really get exporting in this project from Brazil to international markets. So back to the presentation. So this is our objective. We have time until early next year. So I will be with you until March 2021. And essentially what we're starting with is 4 workshops. We started with the pricing workshop last week. This week, we're going to talk about shipping. We're going to talk next week about how to present yourself on an online marketplace like eBay. So we're going to talk about optimization. And finally, in workshop number 4, we're going to talk about visibility. How can you maximize your visibility in front of international customers? This is the theoretical part, which is accompanied by some practical sessions, which you have already gotten a link to. And many of you have already signed up to those sessions. This is a smaller group of 10 people that together with me, we work through some parts that are less strategic. So we set up your PayPal account so you can receive payments. We set up your eBay account, and we're also going to look into how exactly do you list a product in a way that it's attractive to international customers. And this also includes setting up the shipping. And finally, each one of you is entitled to 5 hours of individual training. So I've also shared the link. So if you haven't set up your session yet, please do that. So that's a little bit of a recap. Let's move to the next slide. Yes, I want to talk briefly about this part. So I just want to be 100% clear that this program will be free. So you will get the 5 hours of individual training. You will get from eBay a free store for 6 months, and we will include you in the Brazil hub on eBay. If you meet the conditions, of course. So we will need enough products on your stores, and the stores have to look decent, and then we will be able to include you on this. These are the benefits in terms of cost. We had what we're going to do is, when I set up the stores with you in the practical sessions, I will ask you to share with me the details of the store, and I will share this information with my eBay contacts who can activate the free store. So after you've had your practical session with me on creating an eBay account, you will be able to share the details with me. I give them to eBay, and within 10 to 14 days, approximately, eBay will be able to activate your free store. What we strongly recommend, after the 6 months of free store subscription, you have the possibility to continue having your store, and then the cost is $7.95 per month, and it can be canceled. It can be canceled anytime if you don't like it. But of course, what we have done in this project is we've been very careful in selecting the right companies with the right products that we believe have good potential to sell internationally. Great. Also, to be very clear on the costs, so while there are no upfront costs for you when you sell on eBay, and this is also true for any other platform, whether it's Amazon or Etsy or Alibaba, there is typically a final value fee. So there is a commission that the platform takes, and in the case of eBay, it's 10% of the final price. And as you've seen in the last workshop, this part of the cost is being paid by the customer. So when we do our pricing, we include the 10% that eBay gets and the 6.5% that PayPal gets. We include that in the final price. Okay, I hope that clarifies the part on that this program will be free and what the steps are when you continue later on. Great. So all of this, all these workshops and all the practical sessions, everything that we discuss is also being accompanied by a guide, a written guide, and I will update you shortly on when this will be shared. I heard I had questions last time about when materials would be shared, and we will keep you updated on when this gets to you in case you haven't received it yet. Everybody can get access to this guide, which includes all the information that we are also covering in these sessions, and it's in Portuguese. So with this, let's dive into it, and let's start talking about shipping. Okay, so I want to start with an example, and that example is a seller, the same seller we talked about last time. So her name is Vashu Kihara. She is in Kenya, and it's a small business. She has 2 employees and a little workshop in the outskirts of Nairobi, which is the capital of Kenya. So very small business, very little capacity to invest, but she has the time and she has the technical savviness, and with a little bit of support from my end, we basically created her international online store selling masks. Now, how did we make shipping work, and what were the challenges? I wanted basically what I want to talk about in this example is the different models of cross-border trade that are included on the learning path that we had with the seller. Because first we started using the postal service from Kenya. Then we basically understood that it was very difficult to be competitive in price because it was very expensive to sell even with postal service. And so we did a little bit of a market test, and we artificially lowered the price to see how quickly the demand picks up. And based on the learnings from this, we knew that there was significant enough demand so that we could start with the forward deployment model, which means we aggregate a number of products and ship them to the target market, and then do the last mile delivery from there, because we can save a lot of cost. So I will go in a little bit of detail to explain you exactly how that worked in this case. So how did everything start? So basically, first of all, we had to be aware of the opportunity. Let me find my window here. Just a second. Is it this one? No. Here we go. There's another window. Yeah, that's the window. Exactly. So, so this particular seller is selling cloth face masks, and as you can imagine, it's kind of everybody gets it that this is currently in demand with the pandemic that's going on and so on. But what we did is we went on the research tool in eBay to just check what is the opportunity. So basically, searched for cloth face masks and checked how many cloth face masks are sold have been sold on eBay in the last 365 days in the last year, and basically this spits out the stats. And this tool, you will be able to everybody that's part of this program will have access to this tool, so you can do your own market analysis. So in our case, what did we find out? we found out that for cloth face masks, so specific, right? Face masks made of cloth. There were 740,000 sold in the last year. We saw that the average selling price was $8.86, and we saw that the price had been moving up. So pretty much in April or March, when the pandemic started, the prices went up because the demand increased, and you could also see that there was an increase in demand on eBay starting in March, whereas before there was no sales in mass. So this is clearly an opportunity, and we saw that we were probably likely to sell for $8.86, which seemed like a really good price. So we started doing the pricing exercise to check, can we actually get to this price? And so what we did is this. Just a second. Yeah, that's the right one. So let's see if I can minimize this window. Yeah, that's better. That is much better. Okay. Oops. So this is the same. This is the same example that we used in the pricing workshop. So this seller, let me briefly find the right one. Cost for a single mask. That's what I'm looking for. So just to talk you through this, it looks more complicated than it is. So the base cost for the masks, including the cost of labor, the cost of the materials, everything included, is $1.50. Packaging cost 15 cents. And now when we ship this from Kenya with the postal service, it's $4. So basically the total costs are $5.66. And as you can see, the shipping cost it's almost like 70% of the whole cost. But after adding all the selling fees, the eBay fee 10%, the PayPal fee, we get to $6.78. And this is the price that we priced it at. We did not factor in any profit at this point because we wanted to sort of beat the market. So we just sold it for the cheapest we could, and that is $7.68. So what happened at that price is this. Let me see if we can get the data. Yeah, so that's the data for this seller. So this is what happened when we started listing in July at $6.78. This graph shows you the sold products from this particular seller from July 29th to October 24th. And in the period of July to August, our price was $6.78. And basically, we sold maybe about 10 masks every week at $6.78. So I was, to be honest, I was fairly disappointed because I thought that we had beaten the price of the market, which is $8.80. But apparently we were not selling. So what was wrong? So we went back and did a little more research, and basically, so again, I searched for face masks, and this time I used face mask cotton as the keyword because cotton is the material that we are using, and I checked the opportunity for face mask cotton, and what I found out is that there were 2.8 million sold, so a huge opportunity, and I saw that the average selling price was $10, so it's even better. And so we really didn't understand until we started looking in detail at our main competitors. So in this tool, you can see the data on average selling price, on number of items sold, so you can get a real good sense of the market. But what's even more important is that you go to look into detail at your competitors. So this tool shows you all the most successful sellers, and you can actually go check them out exactly. And that's what we did. So what we went on to do is we checked for a product that was similar to ours, and look at this one. We found a product with masks with similar different colors, which is exactly what we were selling. And I saw that the price was $6.88, whereas our price was $6.78. So still kind of confused why are they selling so much? Let me take a step back. If you look at this product, the average selling price is $6.88. The seller has sold 19,000 for $132,000 since in the last year. So just with one product, so we went to check the product in more detail, and basically here's what I found out. Actually, the cost that the buyers see is $5.95, so it's lower than the $10 average selling price, and so it was clear that if we want to compete, this is the kind of seller that we have to compete with. So we knew we have to lower our price. Actually, the reality is this seller is a very experienced seller, and the way you can see that this seller is very experienced is when you look at the seller information. You can see 17,000 feedback. So that means this seller has 17,000 buyers that gave feedback, and that means usually that they probably sold 10 times the amount of products. So probably this seller sold 200,000 products, and it has a very good feedback score. So the customers are very, very happy with the customer, with the seller. And you can also see that this seller has a wide selection of masks here available to buy, with many colors and so on. And there's free shipping. So it's a very attractive listing, and it's a listing that converts very well. Okay, we knew we had to compete with this listing, and because we are a new seller, we need to break into the market. We probably need to be cheaper than this price. So what are you going to do? Going back to my pricing, what are we going to do about price, right? The reality is that the shipping cost is killing us. It's way too expensive. So what to do here? And what we then did is we asked ourselves if we were able to sell more than 10 masks every week. Then we could aggregate everything, ship it in once to the target market, in this case the United States, and then have the last mile delivery done. And that's exactly what we did. And let me show you what happened. So the base cost is still $1.50. The packaging cost is still 15 cents. But now our shipping cost went down drastically from $4 to 90 cents. How did we do this? Essentially, what we did is before doing this exercise, we briefly went on to lower our price from $6.78. We artificially lowered it to $3 because we knew that this was like the best price on the platform, way cheaper, like half the price than our best competitor. And so let's see what happened to our numbers. Let me go back to the numbers here. Okay, so here's what happened to the numbers. This is end of August when we lowered the price, and instantly we had every day we were selling 5 to 15 masks, and overall we were selling basically 50 masks. Is it 50 masks? Yeah, 50 masks every week at this price. So we knew okay, we can really sell more when we lower the price, and basically we then worked on changing the pricing. And the way it works is like this. We then shipped one box of 150 masks to New York, so very small B2B quantity. And this cost us $22. So it was shipped via DHL for $22. So if you do the math per mask, if you divide $22 by 150, you get to 15 cents. And then what is the cost of shipping this mask from New York to the rest of the target market, the United States? It's 75 cents. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cheap. We obviously needed, to be clear, we obviously needed a business partner to enable this. I had a question in the last session about how this works with the business partner, and in this case, as I told you, very small business, very limited abilities to invest for this particular seller. So the way that she did it, she has basically a business partner in the US that's more of an acquaintance and more of a friend who's willing to do this for kind of as a partner. And for now she's I think charging 50 cents or something per mask. And going forward, the idea is to be able to kind of increase the price as we get a better reputation as a seller on eBay. We want to get closer to this $5.95, which is the price that you can sell at in masses if you are an experienced seller. So we need to make sure we have the margin to pay the business partner to do that. And the idea is to kind of split the profits between the business partner and the seller. So let's briefly see how we do it. So again, we have a base cost of $1.50. We have a packaging cost of 15 cents. We have a shipping cost of 90 cents per envelope. We have no taxes and duties. Just to recap, we don't have any taxes and duties to pay because when you ship to the United States, anything that is below $800 per parcel, it goes through the customs without taxes or duties being applied. This is the de minimis, and we'll get into this in a second. So we're getting to a total cost of $2.55. Now we can play a little bit because now we can say, okay, how much money do I want to make on per mask? And we basically said, let's not be greedy. We are a new seller. We need to break into a market. Let's put the profit per mask at 60 cents. It's very, very low, but we're making a profit for each mask, and that profit we can split with the business partner. So now we're looking at a cost and profit of $3.15, and then we have to add all the fees: 10% for eBay, 4.4% for PayPal. PayPal is a little bit a better rate in Kenya than it is in Brazil at the moment. In Brazil, this would be 6.5%, unless we get a better rate, which is something that we will be checking with PayPal to see if there's anything that they can do for us for this program. So we'll keep you posted on that. Okay, so we have basically fees of 85 cents, and that gets us to basically $4. So we can sell this mask for $4, making 60 cents in profit. And that's exactly what we did. So we are now pricing the masks at $3.99, and I'll show you how it's going. So this October 9th is when we started to price all the masks at $3.99, and this is how much visibility we got. We'll get into how to measure performance in detail in the session on visibility, but essentially we had many more people looking at our mask when we put the price at $3.99, and we started to have ongoing sales. We had less sales than when we had it at $2.99 here, but this was not profitable. This was just price dumping. now, as of here, we were getting profitable and we had recurring sales, and we were basically making 25 sales every week, right? So this is kind of basis to go from. Cool. So this is how we solved it with this seller, and making sure that the prices were low. I'm really quickly going to show you what the experience looks like for the customers. So let me set up here shipping to United States. So eBay, and by the way, any other major platform that you would sell on, including Amazon or Etsy or others, they will show the customers the view based on where they are. Now, what I said, I basically set this up to say that I'm in America, although I actually I've told you that in the first session I am from Switzerland. I live and work in Switzerland, but here I can just set it up to show me shipping rates to the United States. And then if you're a customer coming to see this product, it will show you all the information you need for your country. And in this case, we have details on shipping, and it tells me free standard shipping, and it tells me the item location is in Brooklyn, New York, United States. It also tells me that this seller had a feedback score of 25, so that's relatively low. You know, she's only sold 150 masks or something right now, so she's a very new seller, but she already has very positive, very good feedback. So this is really helping the buyers to gain the trust. So anyways, if I want to buy this as a buyer, I will see right away that this is a free standard shipping, and I can just click on buy, and should I do this live? No, I'm not going to do this live now, but essentially you can click here. Let me note this for the next session. I will actually do a purchase for you, so you can see exactly the buying experience. Buying experience. We'll include this in the next session. But I want to give you the view of the seller. So once a customer has clicked on buy, automatically there is a payment being made through the payment method that the buyer chose. This can be any one of these methods. So PayPal, MasterCard, Visa, any of these payments are accepted. And as a seller, you automatically get the money into your PayPal account. So and then it sits in your PayPal account, and it's blocked in your PayPal account until you have shipped the item. So you have to show eBay that you have shipped the item, otherwise you don't get the money. This is to prevent fraud on the platform. So let me show you the perspective of the seller. What does the seller see when the seller gets a sale? Basically here, there's a notification saying, you know, this item has been paid, you have to ship it now. So if I click on this, oops, let's go back. If you basically click on this, if everything would work correctly now, it would take you to the orders tab here, and here you find the mask. So we can see, okay, on October, when was this? When was this? Oh, so October 26th. So we had a sale on October 26th, and we sold a mask for $3.99, and this is the mask. And so I need to get the order details, which are here. So basically, the customer is a person called Vernia Roll. She lives in Miami Gardens, Florida. So we got an order from this lady from Florida, and we now know that we have to ship it. And essentially, there is two ways to handle this. When you log in to this portal from the United States, if the business partner does it, that's based in the United States and that has an IP address in the United States, she can just click on print shipping label, and it will bring her to the United States Postal Service site. But I'm not sitting in the United States. I'm in Switzerland, and the system detects it, and basically it doesn't let me do it. So what I need to do basically manually is I need to take the address here and basically stick it on the envelope and then send it out. In this case, because the product is very small, right, we can actually put it in a leather envelope and ship it for 75 cents across the United States. So that's how this is handled. Oh yeah, one more thing. So in this case, because it's a very low priced item, you know, like $4, it's really very, very little money. So I don't recommend to put any insurance on, and you also do not need to put tracking in. However, if you are shipping items that are higher value, and I would say anything $20 above, I would say it's worth to add tracking, and you can do that either manually here, just by adding tracking, so that eBay knows that that this is being shipped, and the customer gets updates proactively from eBay where the parcel is. And if you are in case of the business partner that this seller has in the US, that business partner can just click on print shipping label, and it creates the tracking automatically. So you can, you just click here, print the label, and the tracking number is added. Cool. What I'm not covering in this session is any more advanced integrations of shipping. So of course, we are talking about sellers that are very new and just getting started selling internationally and just testing the market. This is what this program is about. Of course, if you are a more advanced seller and you are already selling thousands of dollars every month, then you of course want to think about integrations for your shipping, so you can handle everything out of one place. And there are different tools to do this. There are API integrations available to do this, but I'm not going to cover it. Just to say, for more advanced sellers, it's possible to automate all this and to actually manage it not out of eBay, but also manage it out of your order management system that you would use normally. Okay, right. So this is it for the example. So I realize we took a lot of time on the example, but I think it really helps us understand kind of how international shipping can be worked. So now let's move on and talk a little bit about numbers. So I'm just gonna go really quickly on this slide. This is a slide I borrowed from DHL when I was in Kenya. DHL came in to do a presentation, and basically they were trying to sell their services to our group of sellers. And to be honest with you, DHL, if you can get a discounted rate, then it's okay. If you sell items that are mid to high price, and if you get a really good discount, then DHL is a great choice. I mean, it's they are fantastic. They can ship really to the world in like 3 to 4 days. They can take care of your taxes and duties. It's amazing. Like I've actually bought probably by now about like 20 or 30 products from my sellers in Africa and Central America, and often I've used the DHL shipping option, even if it was a little more expensive, and it's a great experience. And so anyway, so DHL was trying to sell their services to our group of sellers in Kenya, and giving us these numbers. So basically, and I think these numbers really are kind of important. So just to tell you, kind of, they talk about 1.6 billion shoppers online in 2018. So the world has about, what is it, like 8 billion or something of population. So like 20% of the world's population is connected on the internet and kind of buying. $3.4 trillion is the estimated e-commerce sales by 2019. So the slides are a little bit outdated. We are there already, and maybe to put this into context, how can you put this into context? This represents this would represent like a quarter of the whole U.S. economy. The U.S. economy is like $15 trillion. So, and the Brazilian economy, for the sake of it, why don't we just look at the GDP? Brazil. Okay, the output of the Brazilian economy every year is roughly $2 billion. E-commerce every year is $3.4 trillion. So like the global e-commerce is bigger than the Brazilian economy. It's huge. So it's important to be aware of this and to know that, hey, there are people out there that want to buy online. So so get online, because if you don't get online, they're not going to buy from you, but they're going to buy from your competitor. Okay, $900 billion spent on cross-border purchases. So kind of accelerating, and consumer behavior is changing. So people, as like they're getting on their mobiles and just want to buy, and it's like shipping speed is important, right? Everybody knows about Amazon Prime, and Amazon is really shifting Amazon is like the driver to shift kind of buyer expectations upwards. And the reality is that people expect their products faster and faster. So it is important to be quick, and it gets more and more difficult to ship slow. However, just to be very clear, on eBay, and this is why we are using eBay, to start, right? We are using eBay because it's a little bit easier than other platforms. Like Amazon is hard. Amazon is more expensive. It's hard. Other platforms are pretty hard. On eBay, you have buyers that are a little bit more easy on sellers. Like they understand that the sellers are, that they might be small sellers, that they might not have that much resources, that there might be international sellers, and like the expectations on eBay is actually 7 days. If you ship in 7 days, then you fulfill the expectations. And that's very much the experience I've made with the sellers I work with. When we were able to ship in kind of 7 days or less, then like the buyers were like actually surprised. Like they said, wow, really fast shipping, thank you so much, in the feedback. But if you make it clear that you don't ship standard, that you ship economy, and you make it clear that you ship from international, it's also fine to have 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Like, and we'll get into this in a second. That is a model that's widely applied. Okay, very quickly here. So more and more consumers buying cross-border, emerging markets growing, okay, and kind of 60% of internet users buying online, okay. Maybe one thing to point out. So I mentioned there are 8 billion people living in the world. There are 16 billion mobile devices. So there's two times as many smartphones in the world as there are people. And every smartphone is potentially someone that can come to your store to buy, right? To buy your stuff online. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna cover too much on this. Just to say, it's a good thing to have to offer different delivery options. You know, usually what I recommend to sellers is try to, if you need to, if you need to keep your prices low, try to have one free shipping economy option, and then but add another option for fast shipping and add some cost to that one, so that the people can choose if they want it quicker. And DHL was saying that basically that 91% of consumers look for the available delivery option before checking out. So they want to know that they have, they want to have options before they buy. All right, cool. Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the shipping models. I'm just gonna check on time. How are we on time? Yeah, I think we're a little bit falling behind time, but it's not a problem. We'll use the 8 minutes that we have left today, and then we can just continue and leave it, kind of pick up from where we left in the next workshop next week. So let me talk 5 minutes about the different shipping models, and then and then we'll call it a day. Okay, yeah, different shipping models. So right, I would distinguish between 4 different models, all of which can work. Model number 1 is the one we just talked about, is what I would call the small item with postal services, so economy shipping, and that's what we do. What we did, what I talked about in the example with the Kenyan seller when they shipped out of Kenya to the United States for $4. That's for a low value item. So that's usually for small items. Light, it needs to be very light. So sometimes it's even shipped with an envelope. And the good thing is it's relatively cheap, but usually it's very slow and there's no tracking. But there are sellers that are incredibly successful on eBay with this model, especially sellers from China. So I wanna give you an example of this small item postal service model. So, and this is by the way, this is ridiculous. Like, don't try to sell jewelry, on a platform like eBay or Amazon. Like, don't do it because of this, because you have sellers from China that are able to ship a ring like this for $1.96 with free shipping from China. So what happens here, the pricing model here is basically the free shipping shipping from China for like really small quantities. I think it's like 50 cents or something. Let me briefly check. China Post. No, it's 70 cents. Okay, so a Chinese seller can ship for 70 cents from China to the world. And to be clear, a Kenyan seller has to pay $4 for the same service. So Chinese sellers are really getting subsidized shipping, and that's why you find a lot of Chinese sellers selling like small quantities like this with free shipping. But the model that they have is just quantity. Like, so this seller has sold 14,000 of this product. So, it's very cheap, and probably the profit for each item is maybe, I don't know, maybe 20, 30 cents or something. But if you multiply it by, 14,000, then it becomes a business, especially because this is just one item that this seller has. The seller has many more items. So this seller is probably selling hundreds of thousands of items every year, and making a business with this, selling from China to the world. Let's briefly. So that's the model oops, going back to the slide. So that's the small item postal model. Let's look at the large item postal model. So that is basically if you have, items, I would say between $30 to $70 of retail value, and you don't want to ship via courier because it doesn't make sense. As an example, if you ship a $30 item using, for example, DHL, and you don't have any discount, then your shipping might be $50. So as opposed to if you go to the post office, they might offer you the same thing for $25. But so the pros are it's much cheaper than the courier, but the cons, it's going to take 3 weeks instead of 3 days or 4 days. So, and the reliability maybe, and the lack of tracking. Like postal services usually don't have very good tracking. My experience is postal services have worked very well. Like whether it was in Central America, whether it was in Kenya, whether it was in Morocco, postal service have been working pretty well. So I would not exclude postal service as an option, and let me give you an example of a seller that's using this model. Oh, yeah, by the way, just very quickly, I'm working with a seller in Central America that's also using the first model we talked about, the postal model, the small item postal model for shipping out of Panama, and she's selling like small items in the $3 to $4 range, and her shipping cost, I think the real shipping cost, like she's saying it's $70 in shipping and $3.25 the price. Actually, the real shipping cost from Panama, I think, is like $150 for like a small item. Let me check it for you. Panama. Here, yeah, $145. So she can ship for $1.45, but she's only showing 70 cents as a shipping cost, and then she calculates the other 70 cents into this price. So it looks more attractive to the customer. We'll talk about this more as well, but I'm actually going to talk to this seller and recommend her to price it at $3.95 and put shipping for free. It's going to give her more visibility. Okay. I wanted to show you the model for more expensive items shipped via posta. Unfortunately, we've hit the time limits. It's already it's already the hour. So just a quick sneak peek in the next session. Then we're going to continue here and talk about the model for large items with courier. I'm going to give you an example. Using a product that you're more familiar with, like a beauty product. I'm going to talk about why free shipping is king. I'm going to show you on eBay how to set up shipping for different geographies, like if you want to ship to the US but also to Europe. I'm going to talk about duties and how to calculate import duties, and and that's going to be for the next session. So we'll continue there. Next steps. The next workshop will be on next Tuesday, same time, at 9 a.m. your time. We're going to talk about optimization to make your products look super good. Then we're going to have more workshops throughout November and Q&A sessions. Please book your practical sessions around opening PayPal accounts, opening eBay accounts, book them. I will share the link with you afterwards again. Also book your individual sessions with me. Everybody is entitled to spending 5 hours to talk strategy and to really dig deep on on how we can price your items and how we can set up shipping internationally for your products. And then please think about the first, think about a product to export. I want to, just start easy and just start with one product that we can use in the workshop. And going forward, we will list many more. But for now, let's think about one product that has potential, and we will work together to figure out if we can make it work. If we can be competitive with the shipping cost and so on. So that's what we're gonna do. Thank you very, very much for your attention. I realize we're a little bit over time. I look forward to working with you guys. I also want to thank Lara, who has been supporting on this session to make sure it's being recorded. So everything is being recorded, and we will share this with you later. And with that, thank you very much, and see you next week. Bye-bye.